So I've been thinking about doing this video for a really long time. I recently shot a scene for Love and Hip Hop that did not air, that was kind of very, I guess for lack of a better word, special to me. It was definitely one of my vulnerable moments that I really wanted to capture, because I know that there are a lot of people out there going through the same thing and things that I have went through. It was a moment where I had a meetup with my dad, and I feel like, you know, a lot of you guys, and a lot of times I posted things about my dad and my relationship. I know you guys have seen it. And for those who haven't, I had a dad, like many of us, who was not a part of my life, not a part of my upbringing. Pretty much didn't even try to be a part of our lives, especially when my mom moved from New York to Florida. I've always been a daddy's girl, and even as an adult, I got daddy issues. I feel like a lot of my choices in men, a lot of the choices that I made came from not having a father. Not that I regret a lot of decisions that I have made, because if I didn't go through what I went through in life, I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. You know what I'm saying? Had my mom had help from my dad, maybe I would have been a lot more naive, a lot more, not as quick-witted as I am, not as smart as I am. Just because you have that father to lean on, or that masculinity to lean on, it definitely probably could have directed me down a whole different path as a woman. I watched my mom go through hell and back for me and my brother, from walking to work in the snow, pushing me and my brother, walking us to the bus stop, making sure we got to school, taking a chance and moving from New York, where her family and friends were, to Florida for a better life just for me and my brother, and not knowing a soul when she got to Florida, and just really not having any support from my dad. There was even a time when I was a teenager and I'm in like high school, and I was kind of a little fast and already running around on the streets and stuff like that. So my mom felt like, let me send her to New York so that she could see that the grass is not greener on the other side. And she shipped me to my dad. My dad really, put me off on all the other family members. Really wasn't no supervision. He's living his life. It was like whatever, or my sister's mothers, leaving me with them, which he also did when, when we were younger, leave me in their care, when really that was supposed to be a moment or a time where you were supposed to be a dad. So I was messing around with this boy in high school in New York when my mom shipped me back. And then, I was very rebellious, wasn't coming home on time or whatever. So one night my dad and I got into it because I must have came home late, or I was at the boy's house, and my dad, we got into it. He put my head through the wall, and my mom flew in the next day, came and got me, brought me back to Florida. I feel like, that was a moment where it should have been, damn, let me clean up my act and be more a part of my daughter's life, because I see what's going on. Let me guide her. Let me talk to her. Let me show her that this is not the way. I got back to Florida. Phone calls are free. We didn't get phone calls. Got a lot of promises. I watched my brother, being made promises and crying because daddy never showed up, stuff like that. Definitely all those moments, and there's a lot more that I'm clear, like obviously or clearly not talking about, but I'm sure that we've all had moments like these. But there's a lot of moments that, were just very disappointing, to say the least. I was trying to talk to my dad for a long time, for a lot of years, like as an adult. I'm like, you know what? I need an apology. I just want to understand what was your mindset. Me as a mom now, like, I can't imagine not talking to my son, seeing my son, being there for my son. I can't imagine that. Like, so to I just wanted to understand it from my parent, my you were supposed to be there for me and you never was. So I wanted to understand his thought process, especially me going through, you know, getting older, trying to heal, definitely trying to heal my childhood traumas so that I could become a better woman. So I wanted to have a sit down with him, and I begged him for years, and, you know, he avoided me, didn't answer me, whatever. Or if we did talk, he was very brief and got away from it. So one day my dad was like, oh, I'll talk to you, but only for TV, or only on TV. Now, if I didn't feel like that nigga hated me before, you know, when he made that comment, it definitely hurt me. You feel me? Because as a child, since a child, I've been yearning for his attention, for his love, for, you know, his approval, I guess you want to say. And for him to say that, that really bothered me. So, you know, I just cut off all ties. That was my cue. Stop trying. Obviously, he don't want to talk to you. He don't love you. He don't fuck with you. I left it alone. You feel me? For years. Then I was like, you know, I'm on TV. Obviously, clearly I'm on TV. I'm really in real time going through these moments, evolving as a woman. And in order for me to get over, to heal completely, these are one of the moments, or this is one of the things that I have to face. I have to face head on. I have to sit and I have to talk to this man. In order for me to grow as a person, I have to sit, I have to talk to this man. You know, I sat down with my mom. My mom was all for it. Whatever you need from me, however I could support you in your dad's, you know, situation, y'all talk, let me know. My mom even helped him get the flight here to talk to me, everything. My mom was all for it. So, you know, we were going to shoot it for the show. And for whatever reason, the show didn't air it. But it was definitely, you know, one of those moments that I feel like I should have filmed, because that vulnerable moment was taken from me. That was a special moment that I would have loved to, you know, rewatch for the answers, rewatch for the body language, rewatch with my therapist, like, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, the time is gone. So where I'm at now with that situation with me and my dad, we did get to talk. You know, he explained he didn't have the right role models. He didn't have the right upbringing, no one to show him. He explained how, you know, his hatred for my mom also played a big part in him making the decision to not be a part of my brother in my life. And we really, you know, we talked a little bit, you feel me, enough for me to be able to freely and openly forgive, you know, no hatred, and like enough for me to move on, enough for me to heal. You know, I got the answers. Obviously, I feel like, you know, there's a lot more work to be done now. After that talk, you know, he texts me and I'm like, should I text him back? Should I text? Like, I don't know. It was very awkward, but as my spiritual guider said, you know, it's always got to be that first one. And you got to, once you get through that first one, you know, then you can keep going with it. So, you know, he sent the first text, and I kept it going. You know, it was a little awkward at first for me. It's a little awkward, you know, explaining to my son, you have a grandfather. It's awkward for my son to call him grandpa, or you know, for him to say he has a grandfather. He still say, I got a grandfather? Yes, boy. You know, so trying to go down that road of mending a broken relationship that was like a relationship that was so dearly to me, so special to me. It's really a hard transition for me. Like I said, it's awkward, it's different. This is years and years of not having a dad, not having someone else to call on. At this point, it's time. I feel like, you know, you really shouldn't focus on me or my brother. You probably got to focus on the grandkids of being the best grandfather that you can be. However, I don't want to knock like him trying. You get what I'm saying? It's still a little like sideways, like I don't know the nigga, I don't know you, and after what you said, it still plays in my head. But in order for me to heal, I have to forgive. And I feel like I did, and it was definitely hard, and it's still hard. I just know so many people are out there going through the same thing, whereas we're having daddy issues as adults, you know, male or female. You grow up with that missing, like that's a missing part of you. I don't know my family background. Like I don't really know my grandma, my dad's grandma, my dad. We don't know his dad, you know, and being that my mom is a foster child, we don't know much about her family. You know, I really don't know who I am or what I am, so I'm going down that journey of, just trying to identify myself. I know that a lot of people live with resentment towards their parents, or, their absent parents, or sometimes the parents that are there. And I just want to say, like, I don't even know what I just want to say, like, as a person, as you're elevating, as you're growing, you got to just forgive, because tomorrow's not promised. And I know it's tough. Like, mentally, I've struggled a lot. And a lot of times I blame my dad, because I'm just like, if you was here, it would have been different. Like, it would have been way different, could have been way different. But like I said, I've always blocked that out with, like, I could have been a different person. I could have been a bad person if he was there. You don't know. It's a what if, and it's just that hole that's there, and it's just so annoying. But, if you have a parent, an absent parent, and someone, your dad that wasn't there, your mom that wasn't there, regardless to what the situation, a lot of times they don't know. They didn't know. They didn't have the right guidance. They didn't have the right, people to show them. They were kids themselves. It was scary for them not being able to express their feelings and emotions. Y'all shouldn't knock that out. You should definitely come from a place of compassion and trying to understand, because I promise you, once you like really forgive and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna let bygones be bygones, and whatever happened, it happened. I'm a good person. I'm a person of morals. I got good characteristics. I'm a person of value. You know what I'm saying? I have empathy. I have compassion. Like, my mama raised a phenomenal woman, and I know that. And knowing that, it made it, and it makes it easier for me to, continue down this journey of getting to know my dad. And it just feels better, mending our broken relationship from a positive angle.